This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Regina Lee.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Good Neighbor Podcast. This is Regina, and I love to interview local business owners and let them share a little bit about what they do and their passion. And today, I'm very excited to talk with Theresa Crowell. She is a mortgage broker with Carolina Gold Mortgage here in Valentine. How are you, Theresa?
I'm great. How are you, Regina?
Wonderful. You know, we had the opportunity to meet face to face about a month ago, and I just really enjoyed everything about you. So this will be a lot of fun to talk about your journey. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into this business.
Sure. I grew up in rural area of northeastern Pennsylvania, up in the middle of nowhere, on a big dairy farm, and wound up coming to the Charlotte area back in 1995. I had never left home and was petrified to do so, and wound up here with my now ex-husband, which is such a thankful another story. And I had been in the finance world and Pennsylvania and wound up doing a transfer to North Carolina. So I've kind of played in the realm of finances my entire career. But I got down here and spent 1 week and I just fell in love with it. And I honestly didn't ever want to go back home for good. So love to go visit, but this is home to me and I've been here since 1995. So I
Wow.
got into
You've seen the massive growth then since you've been
Yes,
here.
I have. I have. Especially the Valentine area here where we are. It's just crazy. When I first came down here and drove from the north side of Charlotte down, there was just absolutely nothing. So crazy to watch everything that's gone on and is still going on today.
So tell us a little bit about Carolina Gold Mortgage.
Sure. Carolina Gold Mortgage is a boutique broker shop. We are actually in the Keller Williams office in Torrington, the large Keller Williams office. So we do a lot of interaction with the agents there, a lot of business from there. And then like I said, I've been doing this my entire career, so I have a ton of outside business as well. So we specialize in just anything with a white glove touch to it. So agents, buyers, refinancing, equity lines, anything that comes across the mortgage world, we find a home for it.
That's amazing. Well, I know you're in such a competitive space. Tell us a little bit about what sets you apart, maybe what sets Carolina Gold Mortgage apart.
Sure. So I would say the biggest thing, like I said, we're a white glove boutique broker shop. So the difference in us is my experience. And again, I've got over 35 years of doing this, so I've kind of seen and heard and done everything in the realm of financing and mortgages. And then just the extra, I mean, I really am 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It's crazy at times when, unless you're in this world of trying to buy a house and how frustrating it is because of the lack of inventory. It may be Christmas Eve when you're making a deal and it all comes to fruition. And it's just crucial that you're not working with a big box bank type mortgage situation where you can get somebody through a phone call, a text, an email, and make those deals come through. We work hand in hand with real estate agents like we never have before. Every year we get more and more into how important that is and who your team is when you're trying to buy a home and that it all fits together. So we're definitely the crucial piece to that puzzle.
Oh, I'm sure. So what are some of the key factors that lenders look at when approving a loan?
Well, great question, Regina. It's changed so much over the years and continues to evolve. Like I said, I'm old school at this. So when I started, it was, 20% down and you better be at your job for years and years and not have any kind of crazy income. It better be a salary or X per hour and you work the same number of hours a week and everything was just black and white and cut and dry. And today we live in a world of very entrepreneurial jobs and careers. Especially since COVID, it's just been a change. And with the young people coming out of college and how brilliant they are and coming up with ideas and businesses, it's just totally gone 360. And I see that just continuing. So long gone are the days of having to have all these black and white set in stone criteria for getting a mortgage. We do a ton of really unique. And that's what I love about this job. It just never two clients are the same, never 2 days are the same. So it really keeps you on your toes and just always looking for how to put the puzzle together. That's what I tell people. I'm the one that brings all the pieces of the puzzle together. So when I sit down and talk to you and go through your goals and wants and needs, and we place all that in a circle and come out with, here's what is available to you. We go through pluses and minuses of various setups. It's just a truly unique situation built around each person. So it keeps things really exciting. And we do 100% financing many days of the week now. So it's a big old myth about how much, I can't buy a house because I don't have 20% down, or, I don't make X a year. All those things can be thrown out the window now.
What is the credit score these days needed to get the best interest rate?
Well, the best interest rate is a great thing to bring up too, as well, because the best interest rate isn't necessarily the best thing for each person. So, it's a whole puzzle. We want to look at the cost to get that too. I mean, we have interest rates down in the 4 or 5% range, but it may cost you with a buy down so much to get there that it's not really fitting in your goals. So while it sounds great to get the lowest interest rate out there, that may not be the best setup for you. So we go through and weigh those options and cover those with you as the client, as the buyer, or if you're refinancing, and explain what the pluses and minuses are to those programs. So we'll normally have at least 3 different scenarios and go through those with you. So again, a big old myth or a fairy tale about, I need the absolute lowest rate because that's not always the best thing for you.
Well, you just made me think about misconceptions then in your industry. I would have not thought that. What are some other misconceptions
Oh, there's so
you run
many.
into?
So, yeah, to touch on that credit score, obviously, we have not changed from the higher your credit score is, the better off things go, the smoother, the more options available, the better the interest rate, right? It's all a risk game. So we do a lot of credit rehab. We'll work with people to get those credit scores up. You want to be a 580 is normally where we start with. But again, the higher we can get those, the more programs become available and the lower the rates and the lower the cost to get that mortgage. So big myth around that. And then what you can do to change that credit score. Just credit cards are the detriment to everyone today with the cost of just living and eating, and we're seeing more and more credit card debt than we've ever seen in the history of credit cards. So just really working with people to come up, tailor a plan. We may both say, hey, take some of this money and you're not putting it down on the house, and we're going to pay down a credit card, and that score can go flying up. So a lot of misconceptions around credit scores. And again, they keep us on our toes with that. They're always wanting us to not know all the secrets to get those, tweaked and up as high as possible. But we're, again, with what we do every day, we keep ourselves really abreast of what's going on there. So the misconception about 20% down, I just touched on that. That's so far from the truth these days. Buying a home is never, I mean, the growth around here, that equity just continues to go up every single year, and we foresee that for the next, gosh, it's hard to put a number on it, but builders can't keep up with what the quantity of what we need as far as home sales. So it's a supply and demand. There's not enough out there, and there's too many people trying to buy. So we don't foresee values coming down at all. We just can see in the future how they're going to go up. So every day you don't buy a home, or you wait to buy a home for that perfect setup or scenario, you're just losing equity that you're going to have down the road. So firm believer in making all the pieces come together as soon as possible so you can be a homeowner.
Yeah. Do you personally specialize in a certain type of loan?
Not necessarily specialize in a certain type. I'd love to work with everybody, but I will tell you, first-time home buyers are a special place in my heart. There's nothing better than working with a person or a couple to foresee that future and getting them in the home and how it's going to change their life financially and set up, generational wealth. So that's always a special place in my heart. But it's fun to watch people too. And as I get older, I hate to admit it, in this business, it's fun to do the downsizing with people too. Once the kids are gone and everybody's off to college and they don't need that, 3 and 4 and 5 bedroom home anymore. And they want to, one level to not go up and down the stairs. And I hate to admit it, I'm starting to
Oh,
see
I
that
get it.
myself. So
And that is so right on for this part of Charlotte, because the
Yep.
homes that were built in the 90s, they're big.
Yep.
And the people that have their children are gone and raised, they're looking for something different.
Yep. So that's a fun phase to be entering too, because I can apply it every day to my own life. So
Theresa, what are you most proud of in life? It could be professionally, personally.
ooh. Gosh, that's a loaded question. Probably
Okay.
my my family. I have
Um,
2 daughters and 4 grandbabies and 2 stepsons that are just starting out of college. So it's fun to come back and watch everybody and where they're at in life and the things they're doing and how you have impacted that, I guess. So that's
yeah.
probably my pride and joy and my proudest moments.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. And when you're not doing this business life, what do you guys like to do for fun?
Oh, I have a terrible habit of wine. I'm a wine connoisseur, and we love to travel. So putting those two together take us on a lot of fun journeys to meet a lot of people all around the world.
Oh, I love it. A little jealous, I might say. Well, this has been great. Tell our listeners how they can find you, Theresa, at Carolina Gold
Sure.
Mortgage.
Sure. Probably the easiest thing is a phone number or a text. It's 704-907-7496. Or I am here in the Ballantyne area every day in my office, which is in Ballantyne in the corporate setup. And my email is my full name. It's Theresa at carolinagoldmortgage.com. So would love to chat with anybody, answer any questions at any time.
Yeah, you got to start with the chat, it sounds like. There's a lot of decisions that have to be made.
So many, so many.
Not as straightforward. Thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate your time.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Thanks, Regina.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpsouthcharlotte.com. That's gnpsouthcharlotte.com or call 980-351-5719.